Hi everyone, my name is Suzanne and I'm a Chinese metaphysics master in Hong Kong. So a new year has started and a lot of people have big intentions, big plans, what they want to do in 2024. And more I hear from people that they want to start, if not a full-on business, maybe a side gig or some second or third income stream. So this happens more and more these days. People finally want to put their creative ideas out there and actually do something with all those ideas that have been floating in their heads for such a long time. And the question that arises quite a lot is how can I actually make this business work? What do I have to do to build a great business? Where can I see what strengths I have or what weaknesses I have, especially for those who are doing this for the very first time? And so thankfully, with Bazi astrology, we have a very, very simple tool to just give you a bit of an indication as to what the areas are that you're really strong in, what are you a little bit weak on, and where you may need a bit of help, right? And so that obviously is a great help. We know exactly who we need to ask to or who we need to bring on board to make our business a success. Now, the first thing you need to do is obviously plot your Bazi chart. So you can go to this link here, and I'll also post a link in the description to the video. So don't panic if you don't get it here. It's in the description to the video. Plot your Bazi chart, date and time of birth, ideally with time of birth. That's always preferable because it makes things so much more accurate. And once you've plotted that, you will see a whole lot of information and you need to scroll all the way down, especially for those of you who are new to Bazi. Don't get overwhelmed. Yeah, this is very, very easy. Just scroll all the way down and then on the, the lower left, you will see this diagram. It's called five structures diagram. And this is the diagram that we interpret, that we look at to check what it is that you're actually really strong in when it comes to building a business and where you need some help. So we are looking here specifically at the natal diagram, which is the beige diagram. So forget about the purple one. That's not important. We are looking at the beige one. And here we are concerned with these types of elements: the output, wealth, influence, resource, and companion. Yeah, they may be distributed a little bit differently in your case, perfectly normal, yeah? Now, you need to check which one is the strongest. So in this particular case here, we see that the output element is at 80%. Here, the companion element is at 60 or thereabouts. The resource element is around 40. Then we have around 20 here for the influence element and maybe 20, 30 at the wealth, right? So this means that the output element here is the strongest, whereas wealth and influence are the weakest elements. So we focus on the strongest element and the one or two elements that are the weakest. Now, let's say you have two elements that are equally as strong. So if there were like two elements that were at 80 and everything else is below 80, that's fine. You can look at the two strongest and maybe at the two weakest, yeah? Or if you have one that is extremely strong and one that is at 0, then definitely those are the ones that you are focusing on, yeah? Strongest and weakest. Now, the strongest will tell you what you are really good at, or what you would pick up really easily if you learned it, if you upskilled, and if you put in some effort. And this is your strength within your business, yeah? This is what you can bring to the table. Now, conversely, the weakest ones are the ones where you may need some help. Maybe you outsource these activities to partners, or you bring someone on board who can perform these activities rather than struggling and doing it yourself. Yeah. So this is why this is important to check. So let's have a look at what this all means. So the wealth element represents value. Now, do you actually have something of value to offer? So for example, if you are a Bazi consultant or if you want to become a Bazi consultant, you must know Bazi astrology, you must actually be able to read a Bazi chart, otherwise you have no value. Yeah, so it's really about whether or not you actually have something to offer that you can sell. The business disappears the moment your value disappears. The moment you have nothing to offer, you also have no business. So if you have no value, then no need to even proceed. Then you better actually look for someone who has a very high value, has a very high percentage wealth element, and then you start working for them. You check what they need in their chart. So if the wealth element is fairly low, yeah, or is the lowest element in your chart, doesn't mean you can't get rich. Yeah, that's not what it means. It just means that maybe right now you don't have anything of value to offer, and that makes it difficult to start a business. If your wealth element is the strongest element, then you definitely have something of value. You either have it right now, or you're able to very easily create something of value that you can sell. Yeah. So any idea that you may have, you actually monetize that idea and put it into practice. So this is what this means. Now, if the companion element is strong, or is your strongest element, then this means that you have the ability to convert people into clients. Yeah, it's not just enough to have something of value. You then need to somehow bring clients on board and make them buy whatever it is that you're offering. So if your companion element is the strongest element, then your particular ability or your strength in this business is to actually convert overall general people into clients. You are great at sales. That's what that means. Yeah. So this is your strength in that business. If the companion element is your weakest element, then you're not very good at sales, or you really don't enjoy sales at all. And then it would be better maybe to partner up with someone who enjoys being a salesperson, who loves going out there and talking to people and selling whatever it is that needs to be sold. Yeah. So a strong, if the companion element is your strongest element, you're great at sales, you're great at converting people to clients. And if your companion element is the weakest, then you are not so good at sales, and you may want to outsource this to someone else or hire a salesperson. Now, the next one, let's have a look at the influence element. So if your influence element is the strongest element in your chart, then you are very, very good at delivering on what you're promising. Yeah, the influence element represents fulfillment or delivery in general. Yeah, if you cannot deliver what you promise, you're essentially a scammer. Yeah, so we don't want to encourage that. You need to live up to the expectations. If you are a Bazi consultant, you actually need to be able to do a reading and deliver, make sure that you can answer the client's questions. So this is all about customer experience and customer service, right? So if your influence element is very high, then you're great at designing a really superior customer experience. Maybe you're also great at designing I don't know, an appealing shopping environment, for example. So everything that has to do with the customer experience, with the buying experience, you're very good at that. That is your strength. Yeah. So this is something that needs to be present in a great business, whether you do that yourself or whether you are asking someone else to help you with that. So again, if your influence element is the strongest element, then you yourself are really good at delivering a great customer experience. They will be happy with your product. They will be happy with what you have to sell them. And if your influence element is the lowest, the weakest, then this is probably not your strength. You may also not really enjoy this. And then it's time to outsource this to someone else or bring a partner on board. Now, resource element. So the resource element represents cash flow. To run a business, you need cash flow, obviously, right? Now, if your resource element is the strongest element, then you're very, very good at managing cash flow. you're very good at keeping a healthy balance sheet. Yeah. And this is important in a business. If your resource element is the weakest element, it doesn't mean that your cash flow will suck. It means that maybe you shouldn't be responsible for cash flow. Give this to an accountant, for example, yeah? Because you may not be interested in all the intricacies of bookkeeping and accounting, and it may be too confusing for you, or it's just not what you're into, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Nobody can do all of these things, yeah? Even a small business owner usually outsources a few of these functions to someone else. So resource element, that is important. Obviously, cash flow is important to keep the company alive. And then lastly, we've got the output element. If the output element is your strongest element, then you're great at marketing and branding. So anything that has to do with PR, with advertising, social media campaigns, launching the product, whatever. So that is really your strength, and you're thriving on that. You're really enjoying that. You're enjoying the whole marketing experience. If your output element is the weakest, then you're maybe not so great at marketing the product, the service, or even yourself. And you may need to brush up on that and learn how to do it, or outsource it to someone else, bring someone on board who does it on your behalf. All right. Now, it doesn't matter which actual element is associated with the wealth, influence, resource, companion, or output. So don't worry about that. It's really just about checking which are strongest, which are weakest. We are usually focusing just at the one strongest, at the one weakest. If you have two elements that are extremely strong or two elements that are extremely weak, obviously take note. Because if you do want to start a business, then these are the areas that can trip you up, especially the weaker one, because you're focusing too much on the ones that are that you're strong at, that you're good at, that you enjoy doing, right? But we need everything. All right. So I hope this helped you guys figuring out if you are starting a new business, if you want to build a great business, figuring out what it is that is needed, what it is that you can do. And then also, obviously, looking out for people who can complement your strength so that you can really, really start a great business and be successful with it. All right. I hope this helped you guys. For all those who are considering starting a new business, good luck with that. I wish you all the success. And as always, if you have any questions, any comments, please put them in the comment section below. If you would like to get a personal reading with me, my email address is in the description to the video, and I'll be more than happy to help you out, give you more information there. And yeah, as always, please do hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with anybody who may be interested. I'd really appreciate your help. All right, see you guys soon. Take care.